Okay, I'm back with another gem from my comic collection from my childhood. I'm in my childhood home. I'm at my dad's place. And like I said in the last video, I'm just kind of going through some of my old comics and taking some video, some pictures, all that kind of stuff of some of them instead of lugging a whole bunch of these back home with me. So this one's really cool. These were called rough cuts. This is during the Heroes Return era. This was probably the mid 90s, after the Heroes Reborn. Some of you might remember that whole sort of fiasco, but they brought the Avengers back after Heroes Reborn, and the new creative team was Kurt Busiek and George Perez. And I did a video actually on George Perez a couple of years ago, just about his really great ability to get so many different figures into a panel, so many different figures onto a page. And there's no shortage of that in this example. So these rough cuts, real quick, is just a penciled version of this actual number one issue. So I have the real issue. I should have grabbed that out to do like a side by side. Unfortunately, I wasn't thinking, and it's in a box right now that I don't feel like going through. So we'll go through this sort of briefly. But when I was a kid, this was like a really incredible resource for me because this was before, like the internet, and obviously very much before social media. So you weren't ever really seeing too much process stuff. I would see a little bit in Wizard magazine, and then to get my hands on something like this was like invaluable. I have this one, and then I have a Ron Garney Captain America one, which I actually have back home with me. Maybe in the future, if some of you want to see more of this stuff, I could go through that one. I took that back home with me last year. But man, this is just such beautiful, detailed work, penciled work. George Perez, unfortunately passed away, I think, a year or two ago. But he had a very long-standing career with both Marvel and DC. And like I said, he's known for his really great detailed work. I think consistency, great storytelling, just a really rock-solid comic book artist. And you could tell, I'm trying to get this in focus here, if I can. Let's see. You could tell there's just a lot of really great care that goes into every one of these panels. Like, it really looks like he's just psyched to draw every one of these characters and every one of these scenes. And I think that's like, that translates into the work. And for this to not even be inked, I mean, this could almost go straight to color, in my opinion. The inked and colored version is really, it's beautiful, but this stuff, so great to see. This is the very opposite of how I pencil, which is very much more loose and open for the inking, but just a completely different approach. This is gorgeous. As hard as I would try, I couldn't get my pencils to look this crisp and clean and precise. And look at all the, just like the quote-unquote boring stuff, like molding on a wall and a fancy little like food tray. There's just as much care in all of this stuff, the teapots and the teacups and all of that, just as much care as there is in like the cool costumes and all that. This is just a really, really well-rounded, solid comic book artist. Look at that. What an awesome shot. Scale, detail, perspective, drama right here. Great character acting. This is awesome stuff. And like I said, for a kid trying to figure out how to draw comics, this was like eye-opening and also incredibly intimidating. I remember looking at this and going, man, I need to get a lot better, because when I was like 11 or 12 looking at this stuff, I was feeling like, I wanted to be a professional right then and there. So I was always kind of comparing myself to these guys who were like well-seasoned professionals. And what I would do with these rough cuts, I have this one, and like I said, I have the Captain America one as well. I would photocopy these and then try to ink on top of them to practice my inks. But because I couldn't like lower the opacity or anything on these, or didn't even know how to do that, if that was possible on a photocopier, it just got really muddy, and it wasn't as helpful or as useful an exercise as I thought it might be. But look at that. Look at how many people are in that. That's just incredible. In the George Perez video that I made, I shared this page. I can't remember what video that was. I think it was just about like composition and fitting a lot into a panel. But yeah, real quickly, I kind of want to just pass through the rest of this, trying to get the lighting right so that it's not completely blurry. But if you're interested and you never saw this before, you know, feel free to maybe take some screenshots or something like that. This is cool. This is like long before the artist edition. This is just penciled work, and it was released just like a floppy comic. I think it cost maybe like $1 more. But man, I would just like look at this every single day, just studying it and trying to copy stuff and trying to get my skills up to this level. Like I said, it was very intimidating as a young kid, but it was also inspiring to know like what was possible just with a pencil and paper. Look at all that action. This is a double-sized issue, so there's so many pages in here. I'm gonna kind of just flip through here because I don't want this video to go on too long, and I also don't have much more room on my phone. So these are some of the highlights. And like I said, if you're interested, comment below. Let me know if you want to see that Captain America one. It's also a rough cut, just like this. I know DC does more recent versions of whole collections like this. They have the Capullo Court of Owls that's similar. And then this is really cool too because they have the script in the back. And I remember reading this and trying to compare with what was written and then how he executed it with the drawing. So yeah, there you go. Here's Avengers #1 rough cut, the Heroes Return version. Sorry for the terrible glare. Hopefully this was somewhat entertaining and interesting. I might do 1 or 2 more of these. We'll see. Stay tuned. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.